Elgaravalastalem Medavasonia Malatara Aravas Aramalisimila.
Early in the book The Stolen Throne, Mark and Loghain meet Flemeth in the Kokari Wilds after fleeing Loghain's father's camp, which was attacked by Orlesians looking for Mark. While they're there, Flemeth says to Mark about Loghain, "Keep him close and he will betray you. Each time worse than the last." Now, Flemeth is an interesting character, but she's dead wrong here. There's only 3 times Loghain could be argued to have betrayed Mark, which isn't exactly each time worse than the last. And those 3 times are the death of Catriel, the death of Caelan, and the selling of elves into slavery. But it is my opinion that only one of these is a valid betrayal. Loghain omits information regarding Catriel when he tells Mark she is a bard and that she's been spying on them, namely that she's turned coat and is now on their side. The book seems to argue that if Loghain revealed this information, Catriel would still be alive, that therefore her blood is on his hands. But this is inaccurate. Loghain is not at fault for what a man who would soon be king of Ferelden will do. Mark kills Catriel in a rage. It is not Loghain's fault that Mark does not take the time to think through his actions. Mark killed Catriel without the full story, without questioning her as to what her allegiance was now. He chose to kill her rather than banish her, something I have no doubt she would have accepted. The second is the death of Caelan. Even if you don't believe that Loghain made a tactical retreat at Ostagar, there are 2 things which make this very clearly not a betrayal of Mark. 1. Loghain attempted to keep Caelan off the battlefield, but Caelan did not listen or take Loghain's advice. And 2. Loghain's promise to Mark. During the Stolen Throne, there is a point where Mark is saved by Rowan and Loghain rather than them saving his men. And to that he says this: "You both saved me, and while I'm grateful, you have to be prepared to let me go. My mother died. I could die. I would rather die than have the blood of all those men on my hands." And to that, after a brief argument, Loghain responds with, "Next time I don't come to your rescue, you're on your own," something the text says seemed to please Mark. Now, Mark is not Caelan, but I have no doubt Mark would feel the same way about Loghain saving Caelan as he felt about Loghain saving him, namely that it's better to save their men than to save the king. Now, the third betrayal is one I can't ignore. Selling elves into slavery is a betrayal of Mark by being a betrayal of his ideals. Mark, while not perfect, was surprisingly progressive regarding elves. And no, audience, that's not me saying, "Ha ha, he banged 2 elven women." Firstly, I wouldn't disrespect either Fiona or Catriel like that. Secondly, there's more to it than that. See, Mark had elves serve in his army. The Night Elves. Mark was respectful towards elves. Mark treated elves like people, unlike many of the other people we see in the Dragon Age verse. Mark was not perfect in this regard, as we see in the City Elf origin. Killing a human in defense of an elf is still a crime, and I doubt it was a law that Caelan or Honora passed. Merely one Mark didn't repeal, but he tried. One of the women Mark loved, who he's willing to bring back to Denerim to live with him, Fiona, was once a slave. Selling elves into slavery is the only betrayal I could see being plausible. Loghain is betraying Mark's ideals of justice, of fairness, of ending bigotry. But it's not each time worse than the last, it's he will betray you. Also, Flemeth lies a second time in that scene, although we only find out in the calling. She tells Mark that a blight is coming to Ferelden, true, but that he won't live to see it, false. See, Mark is alive at the time of the 5th blight. We find that out in the comics, also written by Gator. At the time of the 5th blight, Mark was hooked up to a machine in Tevinter that runs on his blood. Now, is he healthy? No. Is he conscious? No, but he is alive. So Flemeth is lying about that, and she's also lying about Loghain's betrayals.